Hello, creepy crawlies. I'm Creature, and today we're reviewing the Ghost Pistol. This is an event schematic that has been gotten during the Hexylvania Adventure season on October 14th, and is of course a Ghost Pistol. Now, what makes it a Ghost Pistol besides the design is that it can actually shoot through walls, which is very good, especially since recently they've nerfed the AoE area effect of the Xenon bow, so this is, I think, now technically the largest piercing projectile in the game. But besides that, it is a very interesting gun because I'm pretty sure this predates the Xenon 2, but is also a very, very good pistol. I'll move the creature model out of the way real quick so we can look at the perks and stats a little more easily. Now, you can see it's not the strongest gun ever. It's definitely going to be outclassed by others, but what makes it interesting and possibly really good is, of course, the piercing through walls, enemies, and I believe shielders too, or ride huskies. It can also pierce through them, which is very tasty, especially since, if you're running a pistol build with like a turncoat in this, you can use this to wipe out some enemies that might be protected by shields, and then to switch back to your turncoat to take care of the rest. But for today's video, we'll be using it by itself and kind of giving its own review. That's how we usually do it here, but sometimes I do include another side weapon, but today is not one of those days. Now, you might have noticed that the gun was a revolver, which is why we're going to be using primarily a 6-shooter build today, with Quick Draw Calamity in the lead with all the rest in support. Usually we will put, Beetlejuice in the lead for the extra crit bonus, but since it's a revolver, it's just nicer to have the first 6 shots do extra. Now, you can technically run this, same build on screen right now with any other pistol. It's just, it is a lot more intended for revolvers than just, pistols, so that is something you want to keep in mind if you do use this for anything else. But it's kind of irrelevant because, of course, we're reviewing a revolver. And actually, before we get into it, here's the perks we'll be running. It comes with energy, which I believe you cannot change. Yes, it is stuck to energy. And also, we have a crit rating, crit damage, reload with affliction. I don't think this is one of the guns you can do quirky perks with. Yeah, no. You can only really perk it like a base game gun, so that's something else I want to keep in mind. And it does not have many 6 perk options. You have slow and snare, and each shot grants 3.5% of your shield for 5 seconds, which, don't get. The best way, in my opinion, for this, of course, since it pierces multiple enemies, is, of course, the affliction. It'll be taking care of the biggest majority of the enemies, so I do want that to keep in mind. But I'm pretty sure this gun also only ever comes as slow and snare, so you're gonna have to get a core reperk to change that. But it's quite easy to get core reperks. Just play a little bit of adventures, or do a weekly mission reward stuff. I forget what you call them. Alerts, weekly alerts for the superchargers and stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't been playing too much Save the World recently, so I've lost a little bit of the lingo. But let's get in game and let's start shooting this ghost pistol, shall we? Alrighty, we are in game. I think Ray will be talking to us soon, so a little heads up if you don't want to hear my audio mix up. I don't think she's talking. I think she's actually keeping quiet, so let's go craft the ghost pistol, and let's just wait for that to be crafted, I guess. Instantly had a teammate dip. Oh, no, this might be why. They dipped right as they got to the shelter, I think. So let's just go in, and as you see, it is very much not the best firing weapon. It's a bit slow. That's fine. We can try to get something out of this. We are being swarmed. Oh man, this is bad. Oh, this is real bad. But as you see, it appears for more enemies, and it's not the strongest, of course, because it has to have a trade-off for the piercing. It's very much a crowd weapon in that sense, where they kind of want to be shooting into a crowd of enemies. But if we just continue to go in with them, and hopefully they don't destroy the objective. Okay, wow. That is almost completely destroyed. But, as you see, it's not the strongest revolver you can possibly get. I think that's going to be obvious, because there has to be a little bit of a trade-off for the piercing. But it's definitely a rewarding gun when you do hit the, piercing shots. So, up ahead we have a little bit of a crowd. Let's just get ourselves into a nice position so we can look at enemies at once. As you see, it does kill pretty fast when you do stack up the piercing shots. It shoots, it's kind of hard to see, but it is literally shooting a ghost, okay? That's something I don't think most people notice, but like, yeah, you're literally shooting a ghost when you use this gun. Which I think is really funny. No, I think it is the ghost of, like, Clip's friend, right? So, we're kind of shooting a bunch of... What was Clip's friend? I don't remember. But, essentially, we're shooting a ghost. Which is, pretty funny. Imagine being turned into a gun and having your soul shot at people. I think that's pretty funny. But, as you see, it did fairly fine. You kind of have to work around the piercing, though, if you want to have a decent performance with it. So, that's something to keep in mind. So, yeah. I see. Actually, you know what? You know what? We're not going to cut away. I say we do the storm chest. And see if we can do the storm chest. Also, something to note is this takes heavy ammo, you know, sniper ammo. So, you know, if you just have an abundance of sniper ammo, that, you know, this could be good for you. Since the gun bow takes energy ammo, because it's a light bow, maybe like neon light strips. I don't know. But point being, this takes heavy ammo, which is very more abundant and easier to get than just your average, you know, energy ammo. My brain is so spacey today. I'm sorry. Kind of a lot going on. So yeah. But as you can see, you know, it's going through the shielders, going through the bubbles. It's the doing its job as a piercing pistol. Now, of course, this isn't going to be like, you know, a replacement for, like, you know, a usual pistol build. This is more definitely like a secondary you can run if you want to. But I would not say this is a primary weapon. But actually, you know what? I take that back real quick. I'm gonna take that back real quick. We're gonna wait and see, because from my history of using it, it's something you don't want to really primary. It's definitely something good for the side. But so far, we're actually seeing a different story. It's doing quite fine as a primary. So before I jump the gun into saying, you know, no, it's not, I'm not gonna let my past on the weapon dictate my current opinion. So yeah. So up ahead we have a bit of a crowd. It's a small crowd, but it does have a taker. So I'm gonna do what I do best and just become a swarm magnet, essentially. So yeah, let's just storm these up into a nice little group, and let's just go into it right here. And as you can see, it only takes a couple shots to actually kill a crowd of enemies. And sometimes, you know, just one shot, which is actually pretty good. So, I don't know, did they nerf this gun at some point without me noticing? I don't know. But honestly, it's doing more better than I honestly remember. I remember this gun being so much worse back then. Last time I used this was honestly like 2024. Like, I really skipped out on using this gun whenever I had the chance, because I just don't remember doing that good. But as we see, you know, in today, it's actually doing fine. That might be due to Quick Draw Calamity in the lead. I swear I used to only run Beetlejuice in the lead all the time. But maybe Quick Draw is the difference. Maybe we have to go look at that. But yeah, as you see, it does fine. It's really good. You know, I'm being kind of proved wrong with my past stance on this gun. But I think it's very, you know, interesting. And let's see Mr. trying to shoot too. Also, I'm a little sick, so you can't tell. I am sorry. But yeah. Now, Husky Husks seem to be a little bit more beefy to this weapon. Like, they take a couple extra more shots. But that's standard with Husky Husks, but it's really noticeable. Especially if it doesn't register the hit. Because I've noticed with some guns recently, in the recent Servers World update, not update, but Fortnite update in general, that there's some ghost bullets happening where, like, you shoot the enemy, but it just doesn't register any hits. I've noticed that with the Vendor Tac bow, and I believe the Dragon shotgun. The auto shotgun from the Dragon set that's, like, currently available. I'll pop it up on screen. I forget what it's called all the time. I don't use the Dragon weapons because, you know, they're the Dragon weapons. But yeah, I do think that's interesting how we're having some ghost shots in a ghost review. But yeah. Alrighty, so the objective has started. And let's just go into the crowd over here and, experience the lag of a million decades. Oh my god. So let's just try to go and shoot into the crowd with a moving projectile instead of a normal bullet. Wow, this is causing so much lag. There's so many drop tires. I'm actually lagging. Wow. But if we just, you know, go into the ground with this gun, it's not going to hit everything, and we're going to miss a lot of our shots, because they're always moving, we're at a distance. This weapon is very much a very up-close and personal weapon. If you're using this to use the range, you're not going to have the greatest time, because it is very much more of a, like, up-close and personal weapon, so it's projectiles and, you know, scare enemies, and, you know, not travel too far to do so. Because if there's at a distance, they're probably going to walk out of the hit zone before, you know, you actually hit the, you know, enemy. Which, you know, isn't the best. You know, with bows, you know, the projectile moves fast enough where you're usually hitting them without issue, but with, you know, the ghost pistol, the slow-moving projectile, which, you know, is slow, so that means these will walk out of its way. But when it comes to the general damage, now we don't have any. I thought I got wafers. I thought I got wafers. I didn't. Can we get some real quick? Oh. If I don't get any wafers, I can't. The thumbnail's incorrect. The thumbnail's incorrect if I don't get wafers. There we go. Alright, let's just pop a wafer and just kind of shoot into the crowd, see what enemies we might pierce. But, yeah, like right there. Yeah, since they're all moving somewhat, it kind of missed all of them. But, I do think it's just more up close and personal. Now, I swear back then, you were able to also make the ghost pistol water, not just energy only. I might be mixing up with the solar. I made a video on that sword. I'll put it in the description. Pop up the thumbnail if you need to. But, you know, it's doing fine as a weapon. Oh wow, proper usage of broadsides brings a tear to my eye. What? Okay. Alright, so I think we're seeing what we kind of expect out of this test. Slow moving projectile, does decent damage. If you're too far, it's going to be a struggle to hit your enemies, but if they're stunned and stuff, I think it's okay. You know, it's sometimes, hey, they might walk into the projectile, which is pretty tasty. Yeah. Love to just do this. It's fairly fine. So, yeah. Oh, we have a big formed crowd over here. They're just, they're good pistol. They're kind of all line up. Oh, we have a mini boss. It's a melee mini boss, which means we should probably swap to a melee and kind of just go into it. This is pretty stinky, especially since we were, you know, reviewing a pistol. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just hop away first. See, let's see. Yeah, this is definitely not a mini boss weapon. I think that's what it said. No, don't knock it off the edge. What? You don't get loot that way, dude. What the hell? What? Teammates, man. Teammates. But as you see, it was definitely not a mini-boss weapon. No way you kind of thought it. I think that kind of goes without saying. Once again, the 3 mini-boss weapons, Taskmaster, Storm King's, Scavenger? Right? No, Ravager. And then, you know, Pot Shot. So, you know, if you're looking for those, just go with them. Can I hit that? No, I think they killed it for her.
The shelter is falling.
No, it's not. It's standing up perfectly fine to me. It took a little damage. Not like too long. Calm down. Calm down, Ray! Calm down! I'm gonna see if I can get my Storm King's, Scions of the Storm King? I don't know how you really pronounce that, honestly. Fancy words, am I right? But, let's see if we can actually get that Storm King quest done. I like my gold. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go. I don't know where we killed the other two, but I'll take it. But if we could shoot in this little time, do it. You know, it's up to wait for and test it out. Wow, was that? What? Was that like half its health in one shot? Or was that like the trap? Yeah, honestly, kind of. Oh yeah, that's like half its health in one shot. Interesting. But yeah, I think I'll see you back in the lobby for the final analysis because I think we've seen what we need to do. I think I've actually hit that point now. I've said it a couple times now, but I think I've seen what I needed. I think. I'll see that. So, would I choose the ghost pistol as a primary weapon in Fortnite Save the World? Yeah, actually, yeah. Even though it kind of contradicts what I said earlier in the video about it not being a primary, it actually works. Now, then again, last time I used this was 2024, and that was 2 years ago. So, uh, I was probably just a terrible player back then, missing all my shots, judging it on the pistol instead of me. I still missed most of my shots, but yeah, it works as a primary. I thought I thought it was gonna have to do a lot more work with other weapons to do like anything really good with it, but it followed through and did fine. So yeah. Anyways, I hope to see you all next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.